Ah,
Okay. Huh?
si je clique sur Geshe là?
What's that?
Ah, tu crois? Ah, ici?
Oh,
Ah,
but I don't want to see
Nirmala
my
Kaya.
but I don't want to see my face. Okay, never mind, never mind, never mind. It's okay. Okay, yeah. Mhm. Yes. So yeah. So on the basis of on the basis of that kind of confidence, reflecting on this precious human river, then reinforce by refreshing the commitment to life, to live in a most meaningful way, most fulfilled way, fulfilled way. So uh, mm, strengthen our refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So refresh the refuge. Then, on the basis of that, generate altruistic motivation, dedicating entire one's rest of existence, and especially with this whole human life. Then, this very year, this very month, this very week, this very few days together here, including of this very session, to be most beneficial in the service of the Dharma. Service of the Dharma meaning preserve the Dharma through learning and through practice, the actualizing, realization of the stages path. So just we coming together, to really to serve that purpose, you see. So if nobody come together to study, then one day the kind of group learning will be finished, then one-to-one, without support, without inspiration, sometimes slowly, we will stay away from Dharma, So the learning institutions are so important, even in the regional, center level, putting effort to come together is a great service, preservation of Dharma. Then also dedicate our life, be in the service of sentient being, including, start from taking good care of yourself, as mentioned before. You are one of sentient being, then you need to take good care of yourself. And the best way to take good care of yourself is protecting our three doors from negativities, especially protecting our mind from negative emotions, delusions. Always be mindful, take care of ourselves through being mindful to always stay uh, harmonious with the Dharma, harmonious with the virtue. Our heart always expressing uh, heart of rejoice, heart of appreciation, heart of compassion, heart of unconditional love, bodhicitta, wisdom, etc. Yeah, so I will recite refuge and bodhicitta prayer. Then after that, pay salutation to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. Then pay salutation to all the lineage gurus, to really to receive the blessings, we are not here just to discuss the words, but really to whether whatever way we come together, to really to receive blessing, the transformation of the heart. So for that, Guru's blessings, lineage blessings are so important. Sangye Jodan Zoje Jonamala, Janjo Bado Dani Jazonje, Daji Chuje Jebe Sona, Dola Benje Sangye Drubarajo, Sangye Jodan Zoje Jonamala, Janjo Bado Dani Jazon, Daji Chuje Jebe Sonamje, Dola Benje Sangye Drubarajo, Sangye Jodan Zoje Jonamala, Janjo Bado Dani Jazon, Daji Chuje Jebe Sonamje, Dola Benje Sangye Drubarajo. Gange doze ne zone dawa damje bambe jere dambe jene duen zebe bodam de la cha se donyi ni ju zondo jube lama zeje zeje kanje dende go chana be mo tenzin ja so so de zo da ju chin je. Okay, thank you. So tonight the subject is how to practice tantra in the West. Okay, so straightforward answer to that. there's nothing separate, nothing different ways to practice Tantra in the West. It's the same way how you practice anywhere in the world. Same way you practice how it's supposed to practice, the way how it practiced uh, by the great Indian masters like such as starting from like Nagarjuna, like 17 Pandits, uh, like such as Lama Atisha, such as like Shantideva, uh, especially like Nagarjuna uh, directly um express in many commentaries, many conversations, the intentions of the Buddha's teaching on the Tantra. Then, just like the great Mahasiddhas, great Mahasiddhas of the India, like such as Naropa, Telopa, and those of the 84 Mahasiddhas, who are dedicated, lifelong tantric practitioners. Then, such as those of the great Tibetan masters, uh, uh, those of the earlier hidden yogis and yoginis that who are blessed by Guru Pema Sambhava when he first time brought Tantra to Tibet. Then later, the uh, Atisha, when Lama Atisha brought the teachings of the Lamb on the path or Lamb for the path, then the four different traditions of Tibetan Buddhism mm, uh, very much mm, the tools to practice the Dharma uh, uh, through different way of transmissions, instructional way, philosophical way, then conferring the precepts like through initiations and the vows, uh, and uh, the way how they practice manage to succeed, resulting the very much objective of practicing Tantra, like such as like Marpa, such as like Milarepa, like such as like those of the great Sakya lineages, Kagyu lineages, Gelug lineages, and as a community that who follow the Lama Tsongkhapa's tradition, then like Lama Tsongkhapa himself and his heart true disciples, then including of the great the lineages of the His Holiness Dalai Lama, Jawa Drupa, the first Dalai Lama, or then the Panchen Lama's lineages, one of the most familiar from many reincarnation of the Panchen Lama, the Panchen Losar Chugi Gyatso, one of the most profound and complete the practice of the Sutra and Tantra combined, the Lama Chopa, the Guru Puja, and which up to today freshly preserved and really illustrated great success by the living masters in our time, uh, those of who are still among us and continue to inspire us of those ways of practices, those kind of manners of practices, like His Holiness himself. Then those of the masters that who really show passing into parinirvana, but they left absolute, undoubtable sign of achieving uh, the highest, realization of the Tantra, generation and completion of Tantra, which meaning become Buddha. They become Buddha, and they were ordinary people, but within one lifetime they show the sign, not just we think so, there's a sign they show, and which we can relate to the scripture of the Buddha's own word of the tantric treatise from the Kanjur, from the Gyu. Then there's so many great Indian Mahasiddhas and the Tibetan great yogics, emphasize the exact intent of the Buddha's, how the, how you what are the preparatory to the practice of the tantra, and what are the actual practices of the tantra, and once you accomplish the path, what kind of result it shows, to prove to the new generations of the practitioners. So the like masters, like one of the clearest example which I myself witnessed and I give you is like late Geshe Lama Kuncho. And many of you also know late Kensuru Miche Lama Londo. They show the sign of relics. In Lama Kuncho's case, there's one of the sign of the achieving or the accomplishing the generation and completion stage of the tantra is living the tukjak chensum, like heart, tongue, and eye, during the cremation without burn. So those are intact there. And the 5 different kind of relics, to prove and achieving the 5 dhyana in Buddha. When the first time when you are introduced into tantra, introduced by initiation, right? Initiation is the introduction or the entry or the permission to practice the path of the tantra. So when you receive initiation, especially high Sukhitantra initiation or great initiation, you are initiated in relation to the precepts of the 5 dhyana in Buddha. So that's why each time when they do initiate, then they say, oh, the initiation nectar is overflow from the crown, then you're ornamented by 5 dhyana Buddha, like Amitabha, Amoga, Siddhi, Ranasambhara, etc., etc. Also during the great initiations or high school initiations, they create a mandala. Then there that you throw this initiation sticks, to see the sign, which family you belong to, and it's actually family one of the 5 dhyana Buddha. And there's an offering of the flower that also in relation to one of the 5 dhyana Buddha. That is the initial stage, like your first time entering into the actual practice of the tantra. And when you complete the path, then you achieve whatever auspiciously ornamented at the beginning is now ornamented in the resultant level, achieving yourself as a state of Buddhahood, in the 5 dhyana Buddhas, enlightened body, by purifying the impure 5 aggregates of the practitioner. You see, and all these are proven. So, whatever way how Buddha himself practiced, whatever way how Buddha instructed in the Gyu Tantric, the treatise of the Kangyur, then whatever the great Indian panditas like Nagarjuna's, emphasized in the Shastra, in the Tengyur, then whatever sadhanas that provided out of the manual that they themselves use, and accordingly with the Kanjur in the Gyu, whatever is there, compiled as a meditational guide. In today's time, we call as a sadhana. In the past, they don't even have the sadhana. They really have the time, they really have the concentration and wisdom to study whole Kanjur, whole Gyu, and that is their sadhana. So, but then, time goes by, our concentration span is getting lesser, more distractions are there, uh, and also in lifespan also, sometimes it's getting more fragile, uh, and there's a lot of obstacles of laziness. So therefore, these great masters start to form a sadhana practice as a manual. Then, more than the great Indian Panditas Nalendra's time, later in Tibet, the most of the sadhanas were developed by Tibetan masters. You see, then all those, a lot of the commitments were very much developed by the Tibetan masters. But there is a teaching in the Gyu, in the Kangyur, and also there is an emphasis in the Tengyur, the commentaries. But there's no specific kind of say must do. You say like must do succession Guru Yoga. Must do this sadhana after you practice this particular deity, must do retreat. There's no emphasis of that, you see. So later the great Tibetan masters, they use that technique, they get succeed, and they arrange that, and that provided to us. And we have to follow that. like what it says in the Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim or the Lamrim treatise, and you can find that in the even the short Lamrim, the foundational good quality, So after oneself mature with the common preliminary, then you mature with the uncommon preliminary. Uncommon preliminary. On the basis of uncommon preliminary, then receive initiation. After receive initiation, then the precept, the sadhana, uh, the sadhana is very much, uh, you know, very much the essence is the refuge, Buddhist vows, and tantric vows. How long sadhana is, how short sadhana is, that's the key foundation. Then on top of that, let's say if you're practicing different tantric yogas, they could be uh, action tantra, kriya tantra, yoga tantra, haisika tantra. Each has its own highlighted practice. Let's say an example, if you practice kriya tantra or action tantra, there's a lot of outer activities like making seven limb practices, like making offerings, like we are in the Sakadawa period, so everywhere is conducting Nyungne practice, you see. So that is outer activities. Is a great extra. Main focus is outer activities of the like how to say, setting up the altar, extensive offerings. Then after creating that merit field, then yourself preparing to preparing even physically, like cleanliness and cleanness of the motivation, but especially physical level. Then all the ritual need to be like intact. And there's like prostrations, there's a recitations of the mantra, there's a supplications of the prayers, etc., etc., dedications. Like just the sadhana is about 1-2 hours, about 2 hours of practice, like that. Then you go to yoga tantra, then slightly less outer kind of activity, but then more like balance. Then you go to high school tantra, then more of the inner kind of like a concentration, etc. But everything actually is, like is included within six session Guru Yoga. So that's why after we receive any high school tantra initiation, asked to do minimum commitment of six session Guru Yoga, you know. uh, and then after receive initiations, there are like commitment retreat to be performed. And this is what all the masters of the past they did, Then um, how to say, the self-generation is almost important, right? You know, they do the self-generation. They never separated themselves from being deity, being the meditation deity. That's one of the like key element of the sadhana practice. Like then front generation, like complete absolute presence of the deity, or you can call as a merit field, you can call as a front generation, you can call as a refuge field, uh, like ever present in everywhere, all the time. And that's they did. That's they did. You see. Uh, uh, so very much it says like this in the Lamrim text. So after you have all the foundation, then uh, you establish the connection with the qualified Vajra Guru, or then receive the entry permission. Qualification. Like tomorrow is subject on Guru devotion. We talk tomorrow about that. Then receive the entry. Then also the student need to have a basic qualifications, which we will talk tomorrow. Then after receive the entry, then now you need to exercise. You need to practice. Practice the precepts. Practice the precepts. And the practicing of the precepts can be loose way, can be extensive way, and certain dedicated time that you practice until so intense, like in the form of retreat, right? You go for retreat, strict retreats. Some go strict retreat whole life. Some go strict retreat 3 years great retreat. We call it 3-year great retreat, and some go the approximate retreat. Approximate retreat also there's a there's a short one, the most lighter one, then the medium one, then the more extended one. You see, like an example, like for Kriya Tantra, uh, you see, just 100,000, you know, or minimum daily committing, like minimum whatever mantra need to recite, what based on the sadhana. Then slightly extended one, you do 100,000. Then slightly more extended commitment retreat, like 600,000. So like that. Uh, to the high Sugi Tantra also similar. Uh, but then let's say the slightly more extended, like such as like Yamantaka retreats, uh, 62 100,000. So there's not even a great retreat. It's just a approximate commitment retreats. But you can also can be done just by doing 800,000 or just doing 100,000 like that. But but those who want to achieve enlightenment the quickest as possible, then they live forever in retreat. And you want to achieve enlightenment slightly later, then you shorten, you make it lighter, 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 lighter. But so as like it's in the Lamrim, it's by Lama Tsongkhapa says, then uphold the precept, uh, more important than your own life. So that's what the practice is. Then these precepts you exercise through the 4 sessions. 4 sessions. You say you conduct the practices. In fact, it's like daily 4 sessions. So again, uh, it's depend on how quick you want to become Buddha, right? How quick you want to get purified, how quick you want to accomplish 3 countless years merit. So you want the fastest one, then whole life, and every single day, nothing more than that, nothing else than that. Sorry, nothing else than that. Then slightly lesser, at least like maybe I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years, or if lesser than that, then maybe like three years or 1 year or like 6 months or 1 month. Then, and if not, at least keeping daily your commitment. That also serve in one way is a retreat. Maybe not the most disciplined way, but it's still like at least you never give up whole life. That also can cause enlightenment. So the retreat also again, uh, there are many different ways, right? Many different, most strict way, in order to really to gain the greatest amount of samaya blessings. So you kind of like box yourself, close even the windows, and just um, almost like no elements or the no beings can steal your samaya while you are training on the samaya, accumulating the samaya. So you don't see people don't see you, you don't hear people's other people's chattering and noise. That's why they escape into I mean they go into a very like kind of remote places, isolated places. And also then whatever, when you chant mantra, when you do practices, other people don't hear, because they're also kind of like the energy transmits through the tools that you use. Then also you create a boundary, you don't go out of the boundary that you set, etc., etc. But there's also slightly lighter retreat than that. And you can also do like open retreat. You do the sadhana all the time, minimum, daily. And or you can also do the sadhana in the highest standard if your mindfulness can able to manage, like self-generation, full mindful self-generation, full mindful front generation. Then then you just do the normal responsibilities, right? Go to work, have family, like take care of the family. But then wherever you go, everything is the celestial of the deity. Uh, you are ever mindful of your as a deity. Never even one moment of seeing the ordinary. Uh, you know, uh, the yeah, seeing the ordinariness, like complete the deity. then whoever you see as a celestial environment, as a Dakas and Dakinis. Wherever you go, wherever you stay, everything is a celestial environment. All the foods and drink you take is a nectar, celestial foods, you see. So everything, and that's very strict retreat, and that's very high level retreat. But how many people, can manage to do that, before yourself equipping steady concentration, right? And steady mindfulness, mindfulness that developed through repeated, habitual repetitions of of like all entire your speech become mantra, and entire voice you hear mantra. But in order to do that, you need to accumulate so much mantra until that everything here like mantra. Not just like kind of you need to motivate to hear, but like literally you hear, because it's like strictly you've been only accumulating that, and you've been like kind of like hours of discipline to see your room, your house, retreat hut as a celestial mandala. When you come out until the everywhere you start to see that, and you've been consecrating your body, yourself, entirety of your aggregates as a deity. That until that you've been consecrating numberless times, that until that the moment you only know the deity, you don't know that ordinary person. You see, so these are just some ideas that how this master have practiced, and there's nothing separate the tantra to practice in the West. Literally, no separate. You have to practice. What level of strictness you practice is individual, right? Uh, uh, if you want to practice the strictest way, then you follow the strictest example. If you want to practice loosely, then there are also a lot of loose practitioners in the Himalayas, in the Tibet, everywhere. Even happened during Nalanda master's time. So we have example of all versions, every versions, but there's no separate versions. But then even those loose practitioners, by now they all achieve enlightenment. Uh, but the practice is still the same. Nothing is different, because those manual, those guide, those teaching, those guidance, those yogas, as long as you practice is, the result is like 100% delivering. So since those methods are 100% delivering, then it's still beneficial to use those methods. If we use new method, unless we have proven, otherwise you become the guinea pig. You become the guinea pig of whether this tantric practice okay work or not. For a long time, but it didn't work. You wasted whole life, right? So since already many practitioners already use those techniques and it been work, and 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 we don't need any new kind of investigation. We don't need to waste any time, right? Like a medicine already proven and use it, right? They say we don't want to use it, and now we want to kind of like okay, formula a new one and wait for another how many years, and after works on the guinea pig, then we will apply it. So actually, the all the sadhana practices are the like kind of like a proven manual, and we just need those are like a medicine. We just need to take it, right? You okay? Sorry, I speak too fast. Okay, it's okay. You're doing great. Okay. Oh, the guinea pig is like when you test them. Yeah, when you test the medicine, like a rats. So we don't have in the West. We don't need to be a rat to test the tantra works or not. So no need to develop new formula. so we so whatever formula already developed and whatever guidance already there, we just use it. So that's why my answer actually become very long. My answer is there's no new technique that kind of like to the Western practitioners. Of course, culturally, of course, uh, you know, maybe how to say there's some adjustments, but otherwise the precept is the same. the effort required the same. Yeah, so that's one thing. So I think
Can I
I,
ask one question?
sure, sure.
When do we know is the time to practice on?
Okay, so this is my second topic that I want to go. Great. So to answer to that, so this is also like briefly I mentioned before, tumo lamjang ne do gyurbana, then tekpa kunji chokyu do chete, kesan kiwo chungwa tamba de la ni do chupar chinje lo. Tumo lamjang ne do gyurbana. Is the once you are matured or ready with the common path or the common preliminary, which is lamrim, tumo lamjang ne do gyurbana, then tekpa kunji chokyu do chete, then you become auspicious vessel. Mm, then you should enter into the tantra. So in another word is if we are not matured in lamrim, then you are not ready to enter into tantra. So when we talk about lamrim, is the main thing is three principal aspect path. But then another subject, or most important, is the guru devotion. Then another, yeah. So it's very much the four subjects that must be fully matured. Means you already need to have the basic, qualities of the student yourself. Then the quality of the student is like what Ayadeva emphasized in the 400 stanza. Have the non-partisan heart. First one, meaning that your objective to enter into tantra is nothing superstitious purpose, nothing worldly concern, absolutely for the purpose of enlightenment. So when you relate to the guru, also for that purpose, and when you relate to the tantra, also for that purpose, nothing else. Because because tantra has a lot of mystic, a lot of yogas, a lot of activations or the utilizations of the channels and chakras and drops. So if that is not clear, then there's a misuse. Like mantras are not properly used, instead of benefiting, there's a danger also can use the energy in the different for different purposes, worldly purposes, like such as like practicing Tara, right? You practice Tara for enlightenment, but then Tara is so powerful, granting blessings of activity, then you use for accumulating wealth for this life, and nothing to do with enlightenment. Then that student didn't have the first quality of being non-partisan, of the reason of taking Tara as a deity, and similar goes to the relation to the guru, right? So not just the guru is qualified, but also student need to be qualified. The second one is the basic wisdom of discrimination, meaning that you roughly know the essence of the path. So for that you need to study. So only through study you will gain that. You see. So before receiving initiation, before practicing tantra, you must have a study on the lamrim. So whether Nyingma, Kaju, Saja, every has different name, but lamrim, like perfect word of guru, perfect word of teacher is Nyingma lamrim, even though we don't call lamrim, but it's a lamrim, So basically the essence of the teaching is the same. For Geluk, Lamatsongkap is lamrim, you see. So then the third one is diligent, as mentioned earlier, the hard work from your side. There are many people who receive initiation, then after that, sadhana, bye-bye, everything bye-bye. Because why people like initiation, many people believe, go to initiation, the vase is Tolma put on the head, and the guru taking care of your enlightenment like that, And there's a blessing. That's how in the Himalaya does, You come and ask to study Lamrim, nobody will turn out. Even His Holiness one time says that, when he was giving a lot of, he wanted to give a lot of teachings, Lamrim teachings, common teachings, and even in Bodh Gaya. and he wants the common people to listen. And he says he need to trick them. And he say, well, actually there's an initiation, but he say don't know when is the initiation. So then people think that maybe initiation may happen on the first day. So everybody, the public already arrive on the first day. But then the first day, second day, third day, he been teaching maybe Buddhist about Sharia or some Lamrim or certain commentaries. Then only he give the initiation. And he literally says, if I don't do that, like they will come only on the initiation, the fourth day or the fifth day, So one of the best way of leading the disciples into Tantra is like Kyabje Lama Sopa Rinpoche's way. Rinpoche, like how many initiation he didn't offer, that he kind of like occupy the time by Lamrim teaching. In most of the time happened that way, Then the actual granting, if you are prepared with the Lamrim, then actually initiation may happen 5 minutes. Sometimes Rinpoche, don't even know what he's chanting, what he's doing, Lamrim, maybe 1 week Lamrim, then suddenly initiation, maybe about 15 minutes, finish. But emphasis on the Lamrim, preparing the foundation, and that's exactly what Lama Tsongkhapa asks us to do. You see, so so therefore, so then the third quality is the diligent. Ourselves need to do the homework, and this is what I mentioned before. There are many great examples of the realized beings. The Indian great masters, the Tibetan Mahasiddhas, up to our great gurus, up to the living gurus up to now. Like there's one moment, they stay separate from who they are as a deity. They don't stay separate from bodhicitta. They don't stay separate from the emptiness view. They don't stay separate from renunciations. They don't separate. They don't stay separate from the mandala. You see, but for that, ourselves has to work it out. The initiation is not good. Initiation is just an entry only. But excursion of the mandala, we have to do ourselves. And mastering the mandala inside, the GPS within the mandala, we have to do it. The guru is just like GPS up to the door, and just enter and say introduce is the main master up there. You need to go there. You need to become the master. The rest we have to work it out. So that's why they say diligence. So these three qualities. So now, you see. The Guru devotion, of course, we will talk about tomorrow. Three principal aspects of path. That is called the common preliminary, without which we are not become auspicious, ripened person to Tantra. As I quoted before. The meaning is that. So now, three principal aspects: renunciation. We need to mature with the heart of renunciation. Since tantric path is for enlightenment, the renunciation has to be the renunciation that emphasizes from the great vehicle. The renunciation on the basis of compassion, great compassion, has to happen. Not only that you saw the limitations of your own samsara, your own karma, your own delusion, but you also saw the limitations of the samsara, karma, delusion of the rest of the numberless sentient beings. Now, on top of that, we need to develop that renunciation in the most urgent way. That is the extraordinary of Tantra, right? Because Mahayana, Bodhisattva Yana also have that renunciation, but the urgency is not as urgent as how the renunciation in relation to the Tantra. The reason of entering into the Tantra is want to achieve enlightenment in the quickest way, in one lifetime. And the earlier three tantras, three schools of Tantra, Kriya, Yoga, Action Tantra, also have the practice to achieve enlightenment in one lifetime, but not within one brief lifetime. So we need to extend the required life, like through the practice of like such as like long life deities, right? So it's very much the purpose of entering into the earlier three stages of Tantra is also actually to mature, uh, to practice the High Sukhi Tantra. Now, the objective of High Sukhi Tantra and the benefit of practicing High Sukhi Tantra is to grant the enlightenment within this very brief human lifetime. You know, the blessings is so powerful, so effective that when you are ready with all the prerequisites and when you enter into the mandala, whatever life you have is enough. You know, that much power in the High Sukhi Tantra. Just from uh, the two reasonings. One is the ready with the preparatory practice, and another one is uh, the transmission that you receive in relation to the High Sukhi Tantra, the vow, like such as tantric vow. You know, there's a debate. Like yoga tantra, you can also receive tantric vows, but actually, in a very traditional way, the tantric vows is you only receive when you practice High Sukhi Tantra. You see, and that when you practice the High Sukhi, the tantric vows is very much like the nearest connection you're able to make with the five dhyani Buddha, because tantric vow is based on the five dhyani Buddha, and that sweepens the path by achieving the direct antidote to your impure five aggregates. Because five dhyani Buddha, precept of five dhyani Buddha is directly to purify our five impure aggregates: form, feeling, composition factor, consciousness. So the five dhyani Buddha, exact direct antidote. So the antidote is actualized when you observe the precept and where you were granted this tantric vows. That's the time, you see. So the moment you achieve that, just to have the karma to achieve that, especially here, karma is not talking about, okay, maybe I ripen karma and I receive it, but without even learning Lamrim. Means karma means the action required to prepare all the preliminary, like intact with three principal aspects of path, right? Then Guru devotion is intact. Then now you receive the initiation. Then the moment you receive it, whatever life, maybe 1 year left, or maybe 10 year left, 50 year left, whatever amount of time, even one moment left is good enough to accomplish the path by keeping the precept in the highest purity. That's why you say you need to uphold the precept, the tantric precept, more than your heart. And in order to keep it alive like that is exercising through 4 sessions a day. And the 4 sessions also is just mentioning 4 sessions. It's not like, like 2 hours. It's talking about the entire 24 hours divided into 4 sessions. It's not the normal retreat time, like inseparable. Completeness in the precept. Then no choice, you will become enlightened. Like that, you see. So therefore, the renunciation is that the highest standard renunciation that that you need to even feel like a bit of like impatient kind of, that to want to become a Buddha because of its you feel unbearable of the suffering sentient being go through, even for one moment, to delay me becoming Buddha to liberate them. Bodhisattva has that kind of urgent, but not as up to that extent in the Bodhisattva's path. Now the tantric level is the renunciation is, you really need to get to that point, So there are many great extra reasons to be established, more than just the Mahayana Sutrayana and the Bodhisattva's practice. And we need to gain a lot of meritorious blessings. So then that will lead to engaging in uncommon ngondo. Preliminary. Ngondo means preliminary, right? So the common ngondo is lamrim. Now uncommon ngondo is to purify obstacle on the path, to accumulate merit on the path. you know, to really to even intensify the 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 Guru Yoga practice to receive the blessing, you know, in the quickest way, you know. So when you complete that, then high Sukhi Tantra is able to achieve. So in fact, the four practice of the three earlier school of Tantra is fall within the uncommon Ngondo to the high Sukhi Tantra. So it is so beneficial to practice Kriya Tantra, you know, Action Tantra, you know, Yoga Tantra, and within that, very much all the preliminaries are there. In intense preliminary, you know, extended refuge practice is there. Is one of the uncommon Ngondo. Extended Vajrasattva practice, because Vajrasattva practice is already Tantra, right? But it's in relation to the, like, let's say, Action Tantra or Kriya Tantra. So you can able to practice this for purification purpose. Then like mandala offering. So mandala offering you can do in relation to the tantric practice, so that you know you offer not only to the Buddhas, but you offer to the deities. By then you can, you know, if you are practicing Tara from the Kriya Tantra, you can understand that Tara is embodiment of the three-time Buddhas, all the deities, you know, and you know, in relation to the practice of the precept, you know, the quality of the practice even become more extended, you know. So so renunciation is a must, you know. So also without renunciation, there cannot even become a path, even ordinary path of the Dharma. So there's no question that um, you know, in order to receive the tantric vow, you need to have Bodhisattva vows. In order to receive the Bodhisattva vow, you need to receive refuge vows. So without renunciation, you cannot even receive refuge vows. You know, without renunciation towards samsara, renunciation towards, especially here in the context of Lamrim, you know, and in especially we are talking about tantra. So without the renunciations about you know, the overall samsara of yours, you know, you cannot even have a, you know, the what do you call the basic, you know, the heart of renunciation, you know, to become your practice as a path. You see, then if this renunciation is not mature up to the renunciation in relation to concern the well-being of sentient being, you won't able to develop compassion. If you weren't able to develop compassion, there's no room for you to achieve bodhicitta. So the renunciation has to be on the basis of great renunciation. So that way, when you receive Bodhisattva vows, you literally receive the blessing, and you can easily can nurture because you have the foundation. Then now, without the renunciation in relation to the reason why you want to practice Tantra, that urgency to benefit sentient being, then even you receive initiation, the initiation is very much passed down to you as a precepts, including of the tantric precept. You won't able to receive it. You may be in the ceremony, but you didn't manage to receive it. You can claim, but you don't have the precept. You don't have the initiation. So there are many times actually, maybe we didn't receive initiation because there's no heart of renunciation. You know, it come out like later after you study properly, you realize that actually, yeah, I didn't even have the basic foundation, basic criteria. You see, so unless you are chosen disciple, there are some exceptionals possible by the power of the master who's granting the precepts, vows, or initiation, that they really have the what do you call no the authority of the Dharma or the initiation or the transmission on the basis of their samadhi. Then say, okay, you know, like you can say, whatever mandala paramita I create, within that, whoever is there, you all receive the initiation. Like Yisones does that. Like those, you know, with the various circumstances, like those Tibetans in Tibet, or those people who want to receive it in China, or those who in the West, they really want to receive it, but they cannot come there because of whatever reason. They say, you all receive it because I included within the mandala. But that is very rare, the Lama who conferring initiation who really have that ability. So so otherwise you need to be in the initiation ceremony, and you also need to have the motivation, and you need to have the renunciation right there while the master is guiding you through the initiation, because they will grant refuge, right? So every initiation is, you will be offered refuge. So when you offer refuge, you will be introduced the heart of renunciation. So at least that time that you need to have a fresh renunciation, then only the refuge is received. Then similar goes to Bodhisattva, then similar goes to tantric vows, like that. So now, when you are not mature, sincerely, wholeheartedly, to have the Bodhisattva's heart, bodhicitta, or the Bodhisattva vows, then you won't receive Bodhisattva precept. So when you don't have the Bodhisattva vows, even happen to be path, but didn't manage to become the Bodhisattva path. If didn't become Bodhisattva path, then the result of your tantric practice won't become enlightenment. So therefore, must have Bodhisattva vows. Then, of course, wisdom of emptiness. Without wisdom of emptiness, whenever you think that I'm deity, it actually false mind. You are not deity, right? Then you think I'm deity, you are accumulating false mind. You're actually accumulating. There's some benefit of imprint, because its deity is auspicious, deity is meaningful, deity is pure, right? But from your side, actually, you are accumulating ignorance. It's something which is not, and you are believing it is, right? So without emptiness, you won't able to do the actual tantric practice, which is the body mandala, which is the self-generation, the front generation, purifying the impurities. All these things won't be possible. So emptiness is the only tool that you can able to really protect from all the ordinariness. That's why even the meaning of tantra is called karsa. It's a yi kyok. The meaning of tantra, sangha, secret mantra, or even mantra. You say the meaning of mantra means tantra. In Tibetan, it says yi kyok. Yi means the mind. Kyok means protect. So tantra means the tool to protect your mind So what do you mean protect your mind? Protect from impurities, protect from the impure person, protect from impure environments. So when you protect from impure person, means you are divine. So when you practice tantra, when you do self-generation, that's the way that you become divine. You become guru. You become the deity, right? You arise as a deity, then you become a deity. You see, that way you manage to purify the impure person. Then when you uphold the pure view of self, is called divine pride, right? That is supposed to practice after you practice tantra. You need to practice a divine pride, and that divine pride is valid. It's a valid mind. It's not false mind, because you are really deity. Because you really purify the ordinary person. Because ordinary person is not inherently existent, substantially exists from its own side. There's no ordinary person inherently within me, right? Within my aggregate, within my name, nothing. It is hallucinationally established samsaric person. And I'm upholding that impure pride of as a I am samsaric person. I'm impure person. I'm an enlightened person. You see. But if you go to search that impure person, you cannot find from crown to toe. You cannot find in the mind, you cannot find in the body, you cannot find elsewhere at all. It's just merely labeled. And merely labeled by who? Merely labeled by mind. What that mind? Impure, diluted, ignorant mind. So now, through the tools of emptiness, you purify that impure mind with a strong faith and conviction on the basis of understanding what emptiness really is. You literally that you need to become somebody on the basis of emptiness. That's why through emptiness you arise as a deity, right? You see, exactly like the way how we become samsaric person. You know, unfortunately we have to say this. You know, father, mother have a delusion, attachment. Without attachment, how they're going to make baby, right? So delusion is the start. You know, and they thought making the baby, of course, the ignorance that's the main force. Belief, believing that this is something auspicious, actually bringing another samsaric number in the world, right? In one way, you know, in one way. And that also what? Out of control. Because uh, past delusion is forcing to have that delusion, and that delusion again actualize the another conditional karma, right? Then with the father mother substance, then the continuum of the past consciousness emerge. Then from there miraculously become Tenzin Zopa, the samsaric Tenzin Zopa, right? Then whole world I go and claim Tenzin Zopa. But in fact, the Tenzin Zopa is actually not existent until I come out from the mother's womb. I could be Mr. Bean. I could be Jumbo. Jombel. If I'm born in Switzerland, maybe most likely I'll be Jombel. But in Zoom Valley, nobody know this name, not familiar. So they know about Tenzin, like that. So they give me Tenzin, right? But they could give me Jumbo. And if they give me Jumbo, I'm Jumbo, not Tenzin. If I'm born in England, I will get, or not need to born in England. If in that my valley, if there are exposures to Mr. Bean's movie, unfortunately there's no TV that time. If they really saw Mr. Bean, they like so much, because Mr. Bean, you don't need to understand English to Mr. Bean, or Charlie Chaplin, right? So happy, everybody will be happy to watch, right? So until that, there's so many Tenzin everywhere, then maybe my father, mother decided to give Charlie Chaplin or Mr. Bean, and I'm Mr. Bean. I literally become Mr. Bean, not Tenzin, right? Why not? But they give me Tenzin, now I'm Tenzin, and that's samsaric Tenzin, right? And they give Tenzin, but I choose to view myself as a samsaric Tenzin because my mind is not purified. If my mind happened to be purified, no, it's a divine Tenzin, not a samsaric Tenzin, right? Because this samsaric Tenzin, you go to search in entire my aggregates, you cannot find him, not even one simple substance, not even one single moment in the consciousness. It's literally merely labeled by the mind. And unfortunately, the labeling mind happened to be unqualified. That's why it becomes samsaric Tenzin. But if it happened to have a qualified wisdom mind, I can be a holy mind, holy Tenzin, not become unholy. You see. So anyway, so it's so obvious, you see. So therefore, uh, now you see, like how baby came about. See. So now from this emptiness, Om Sobhava Shuddha Savadama Sobhava Shuddha Ham in Tantra, everything start from there, means Rangdang Chötamje. Rang is yourself. Chötamje means the rest of the phenomena is in the nature of emptiness. You literally purify in emptiness, and that from that complete empty, that complete empty of that ordinary person, ordinary aggregates, and rest of the phenomena, then from the wisdom born a lotus, right? It's like mother's womb. It's very much like you can regard that as a mother's egg, right? Then mother's egg alone is not good enough. Then we visualize what mundis, that is father's drop. Then we visualize what in the center of the syllable, like let's say you want to become Tara, syllable Tam, and that is the continuum of the enlightened mind. In another word, what is that? It's Dharmakaya. Nothing other than Dharmakaya. That's Dharmakaya. And Dharmakaya is all pervasive and always there. We just need to recognize it. We just need to use it, right? But for the unpurified mind, they didn't manage to use that. You use, all this, ignorant mind, diluted mind, whatever, you see. So now, using that Dharmakaya, and from that Dharmakaya, nature of the mind, it carries two, two qualities, the conventional and ultimate. The conventional become emotion, or in fact, when you become deity, it didn't become emotion. It's an attitude, but it's like omniscient attitude or the bodhicitta kind of attitude. Let's say immeasurable compassion, born with immeasurable compassion, born with immeasurable love. These are the qualities of the Buddha, right? Like because we name impure, then the moment we come out, we start to behave like so much attached to the sugar, so much attached to the chili, all this come out. There's kind of like there's no immeasurable love or compassion, but there's a lot of immeasurable qualities. But immeasurable qualities is like attachment, immeasurable attachment, immeasurable aversion. All is there, right? So anyway, then the other side of that Dharmakaya is the nature, the natural nature, or we can say natural nature of the mind, always pure, which we can say the pure Buddha, the ultimate Buddha nature. The moist aspect of the mind is called the conventional Buddha nature. And from that Buddha nature, miraculously become green color, beautiful, stretching leg, and holding upala, you are Tara, right? That's how we visualize, right? But when father mother make the baby, when the baby, in the womb, how it grows. Nowadays we see some footage, videos, is really like miraculous, like exactly like how we visualize becoming Tara, is literally becoming like that, really like from where this picture is coming from. Like one every week, like this, like the when come out is like you got eyes, you got you got ears, you got mouth, you can make sound. But before that is like literally empty, right? And why not? Why not? Why not? Why not you become that miraculous Tara? You can also, but then why we cannot truly become Buddha? Because we are not fully awakened, right? This we call Buddha means awakened, right? Fully awakened. Not only say awakened, it's a fully awakened state, right? We need to stay fully awake. In another word, don't need to say awakened, but fully awake of you as a Tara, with this legitimate cause and condition, not just antara, not just like that. With the emptiness, you will make sure that you not just you believe, but you literally is there to get belief. It's not imagining. It's real. It's real. Otherwise, you have to deny that you are. I'm not Tenzin Zopa. How I came about. You how to believe. You see, if you can believe this little baby that produced by my father, mother as a Tenzin Zopa, now I am Tenzin Zopa, then why can't you believe that you are Tara? Honestly, right? You see, because I believe as a this impure Tenzin Zopa because I'm all over that, all over me. This impure mind is all over me all the time. So even like in a deep sleep, someone like kind of like a knock with a hammer and say, "Wake up, Tenzin Zopa!" He say, "I'm here," like that. In the daytime, is of course daytime is like someone say, "Where Tenzin Zopa?" He say, "I'm here." He say, "Where?" He say, "Are you blind? Don't you see me?" Like that, isn't it? So even in the sleep also, someone like kind of force you to like wake you up instantly because you're so fully awake. You're fully awakened in this impure person. So that's why we need to do this like how the masters did, like whole life, day and night, never go away with. And sometimes if they're going away, they lock inside cave until there's no way to breathe. Also, these lamas, why they do that? It's like just kind of like capture themselves in that kind of uh, that's why I call retreat from all the impure ideas about yourself, retreat from all the impure environments, and you consecrate. When you come out, yeah, you're still carrying this body, fine, that's fine, but because that's not you, right? It's okay, right? But who really you is your awareness of your being. And even from the common sutric teaching point of view, our wholeness of our being is Buddha. Not even need to go to Tantra, even from ordinary, uh, even the common teachings of the sutra, when we talk about emptiness, when we talk about Buddha nature, the topic of Buddha nature, the wholeness of our being, is actually Buddha being. It's a Buddha being. So therefore, until you realize the Buddha, until you realize yourself as a living Buddha, not just believing it, but with this believing is then that can go wrong, A self-appointed Buddha, that can go wrong. Legitimately born Buddha, like legitimately, like born Tenzin Zopa, like that, legitimately born Buddha, then you are fully aware of it all the time, even without any kind of needed to reasonalize or get reminded. Then that's the stage of fully awakened state. You see, so for that, then the disciplines of doing all these commitments serve the benefits. You see, so in short, without emptiness, you can't practice steady yoga. And without emptiness, how to actualize front generation? You're just like imagining, imagining, you can imagine something is not there. But when you imagine, when you visualize front generation Tara, definitely Tara has to be there. You definitely, Tara is there. You see, and usually, I mean, in general, Tara is all the time there. Tara is everywhere. It's omniscient, right? All pervasive, right? But for your own awakening, you cannot just kind of like just believe she's there. No, you have to kind of have a conviction she's definitely there. You see, and lively there. So now that is not easy. Just yeah. I think Buddha maybe there. Yes. Yeah. I believe. But you corner yourself, then it's, yeah, because sadhana says so. I would think like that, but actually I'm not quite sure. You see, so you need to like be 100% sure. Then you have irresistible faith. You know, so when there's irresistible faith, and then say there is the Tara. So I'm using Tara, but usually the quote is talking about Buddha. When there's an irresistible faith is there, Buddha is right there. For you, Buddha is like fully present there. So So you see, otherwise it's, yeah, we have faith, but the faith is not easable faith. The faith is like when there's some reason, then okay. Then when the reason loses with your own kind of uh, the things that convince you, then you lose the faith. So you see. So yes, so the emptiness is mass. You see. Now visualizing, one of the like visualizations of the mandala is one of the big practice. Especially, you go into high school tantra, there's like body mandala. So that's not easy. So, but if you have a good foundation of emptiness, then it's almost like everything, you can really actualize, the different deities, literally there, and you can create the celestial literally there. So otherwise you cannot, you see. Then, especially the utilizations of the clear light, in a tantric practice, there's a big practice, great practice. So clear light for this ordinary mind, it's not tangible, not physical, not even a gross mind, you see. So you really need to uh, you really need to experience the emptiness. Otherwise, how to experience clear light? The actual meaning of clear light, how to experience it if we are not introduced to emptiness. Even the clear light is natural to everybody. When we pass away, clear light natural to everybody. Yeah. But for some it's just like empty, that's it. So that's why we study and we try to do the three kayas practice, that hoping that when the natural clear light comes in our way, that we know how to take onto the path, right? Taking clear light onto the path is the one of a big matter for practice, especially tantra. You see, that's almost one of the greatest opportunity to enlighten within one lifetime, enlighten in Dharmakaya, taking clear light onto the path and succeeding it, you actualize Buddhahood in Dharmakaya. Then taking the clear light of the intermediate state, succeed it, you actualize enlightenment in Sambhavakaya. Or through the tools of channels, chakras, drop in this human body, and causing clear light before the natural clear light. Then you enlightening in the Nirmanakaya body. You see, which is rare, but still through this you can purify a lot of impurities. You manage to exercise your channels, chakras, and drops, especially subtle bodies. Uh, but again, uh, without knowing exactly the characteristic of the clear light, which is emptiness, and we won't able to take all these natural available kind of blessings or the tools onto the path. So emptiness is must, you see. So emptiness also not anyhow emptiness view, the Pasangika Madhyamika's view. Otherwise, you won't able to establish uh, like an absolute ground where you can actualize the deity or the mandala. With, all the earlier presentations of the view on emptiness, either to the subject or either on the object, they need to have some kind of substantial existence from its own side. And that substantial existence already pre-existing there either has to be already pre-holy or either pre-unholy, whether it's body or mind. Then in order to take freshly, to establish totality of the pure body of the deity, is you will have a difficulty to do that. You see, so therefore the emptiness view also not anyhow emptiness view. You need to get to real understanding and real exercise through analytical meditation, absorption meditation, uh, uh, and according with the Pasangika Madhyamika view, which is the view that the intended the intent on the emptiness view of the Buddha, and the the Nagarjuna elucidated that in the middle way treatise, and this is the teaching that taught without mistake completely in the Lamrim, in the wisdom chapter. So that's why Lamrim is so important. You know, you see. Uh, so now, yeah. So three principal aspect path. Yeah. Then after that, then uh, uh, to ready to realize the path, we need blessing. Not just knowledge is enough. You need merits. You need blessings to clear obstacle on the path. To have a conducive environment to steadily progress on the path. So for that, it says, do uncommon preliminary practice to really to get success of the high spirit tantra practice, which is start with four major preliminary practices. First one is refuge. Refuge you practice as like ripening of the Buddha potential. It's a refuge. So at the moment, Dharmakaya or Buddha nature, from whichever way, whichever point of view, Sutric point of view, Tantric point of view, that you talk about that our true nature is Buddha nature and we have Buddha nature. At the moment, the Buddha nature, the Buddha potential or the Buddha seed is like captured in a metal box. Very safe. It's like even fire won't burn, hammer cannot break. It's like very secure, but will never grow because in order to grow, the seed need to plant the ground, right? Similar. So when you practice refuge, it's like the seed you take out from the box and now plant onto the ground. Plant to the ground what? The ground of our spiritual continuum. Plant on our spiritual continuum. You see. Otherwise, it's like kept in the one of the safest natural safe box, like in the Dharmakaya, is safe there, always there, but safe in the like the box. You see, so to grow the seed first, you plant the seed, which is practice of refuge. Then, when to growing the seed, there are a lot of like let's say like normal crops, like weeds, rocks, etc., etc. You need to clear all those obstacles. Then say Vajrasattva, Mondo Vajrasattva practice. Because Vajrasattva is the embodiment of all the three times Buddha's purification, most effective, right? Then even seed is planted on the ground. Obstacles clear, but then there's no condition to the progress like a sun, water timely, etc. So similarly, the spiritual seed, in order to grow, you need meritorious support, timely meritorious elements, conditional elements. So mandala offering is one of the most powerful tools to accumulate merit. Like Lama Tsongkhapa himself elucidated that in his life, He became one of the greatest scholar of Tibet. He composed, all the great treatises, 18 great treatises, and not even one mistake, understanding of Buddha's intent, Nagarjuna's intent. But he realized that it didn't become realization, it became a knowledge, it didn't become a path. So then he had consultation with his guru. So as a scholarly, as even the common merit wise, he's much higher, even like higher than the guru. So he said, you better seek consultation with the Buddha of wisdom, Manjushri. So asked to supplicate Manjushri. So he makes supplication to Manjushri, then Manjushri appeared. And Manjushri says, you need to purify obstacles, you need to accumulate merit, get into retreat. So then he traveled to Wakacholing to retreat. What retreat he did? Refuge, Vajrasattva, mandala offering, prostrations, all this refuge, Guru Yoga, all the uncommon Mondo retreat. Why he didn't do before? He was too busy. He was too busy. First, he was too busy studying, Like what he says in his life story. Tambo Gyajun Mandu said first, like to study many scriptures, whole scriptures. He was like completely engrossed into that. You see. So then, after he becomes such a great scholar, everybody come and learn from him, including of the like Jazab, Ketubjaya from Kagyu, the earlier scholars. They also come and learn from him and become his hard disciple. So he was like traveling around the Tibet, and he was the most famous teacher, teaching. Then his age also catching up, and suddenly he realized that wow, I know so much, I compose so much text, but how about path? Become a path, and he realized didn't become a path. That's how. That's how. So he stopped everything. He went into retreat, under the guidance of Manjushri. So an example, he did like prostration, 35 million prostrations. Mandala, I think mandala also 35 million, if I remember correctly. So there's a list, until like he did until all the flesh worn out, until the bone, it touched to the bone. But then his focus is so there until he been doing that. So that time he don't even have a proper mandala set what we have now, just a rock and gather the rock chips and did like that. And like let Geshe Lama Kunjo follow exactly the same kind of way. He have nothing in the cave. He did. His list also a lot. Lama Kunjo's list of the Wondo is unbelievable. You see, like took 26 years, and most of the time doing Wondo, you know. Even they do great retreat, like maybe 80-90% is they do Wondo, you know. So Wondo preliminary practice. So you see, so then mandala open practice. Then you see, to receive the blessing of the Tantra or the deity, which is means receive blessing of the deity, the nearest bridge is the guru. Even to receive initiation, guru is the one who initiate you, is not the Sambhogakaya or whatever. Only to the really realized beings, they directly receive from Tara, etc. Otherwise, we need the human guru to pass down the lineage, right? So then, uh, and in the practice of Buddhism and in the practice of the Guru Yoga, then Guru is Buddha, right? Guru is a Buddha, and Guru is the nearest emanation that emanated by Buddha to reach out Buddha's blessing to us. I've been sharing this. Some of you may have heard if you attended some other teachings. Like His Holiness says that he been try to understand why Guru is the human Guru that you have, kinder than all the 3-time Buddhas, even kinder than Shakyamuni Buddha. He analyze. He said many years he analyzed. He said the light rays is not the reason. Or Guru able to fly, that's not the reason. Because all the deities, all the Sambhogakaya, they can fly, they have lights, right? You look at the Tara, Tara definitely can fly, right? Tara definitely have a light rays, right? And then like a light body, not this flesh and tangible body, light body. It's a Tara already have. But then why the Guru is more important, more kinder or more precious than all the deities? Then he says, he realized the emanating in the ordinariness in your level, coming into your level. But the blessings of the Dharma is no less no lesser standard than the Buddha, exact like the Buddha. Appearance is your level. What the Guru passed to you, the blessing of the Dharma is even actual Dharmakaya comes and teach you. There's nothing more than to teach in that exactly the same way. So he says, that is the reason. Our ordinary mind, our ordinary eyes, our ordinary body can be next to each other, and our ordinary eye can see directly wholeness of the Guru. Buddha, we cannot see Buddha like that, right? You see, and our ordinary mind can really, see the Guru in actual Buddha because they emanate the qualities of the Buddha. You see, that's why the quality we need to talk about tomorrow. That's why Guru need to have a quality. That's why then when the student relate to the Guru, you will see all those qualities. And those qualities are none other than Buddha's qualities, right? You see, so it's only says, that's because of that is no reason. That is the reason, why Guru is the kinder than even Shakyamuni Buddha. Especially like for us, we didn't see Shakyamuni Buddha, right? Uh, I definitely didn't see. I was not there. If I was there by then, like his hard disciples, already enlightened, I'm still in samsara. Obviously, I'm not there. You see, but the guru, the lively guru who came into us, who live among us, teach us. I saw them. I received teaching from them. And when you read the Buddha's own word on the contrary, no different, exactly the same. You see, and how they manifest all those qualities of the Dharma, exactly the same, nothing different. You see, so therefore, Guru is the greatest object to create merit. Being so, Guru is the entire source of your blessings, entire source of the blessing to you. Then Guru is the one who carry entire blessings of the three-time Buddhas and deities, and so therefore, when you practice daily yoga, when Guru yoga is intact, then the blessings arrive into us just like that. So that's why to sweeten the receiving of the blessings, they say Guru yoga is the fourth major mondo. So refuge, Pajasattva, Mandala, and Guru yoga. So when this is done, then not only you have the knowledge of three principles, you also have you also already purified those limitation obstacles and accumulate all the conditional resources. And then you receive the initiation. Then the moment you start to practice, the blessings is like rainfalls comes in your way, it says. So this is, I think maybe now I think already 9 o'clock, so I should stop here. So I hope that you got the answer to the question briefly, like that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So maybe we stop here, right? Okay. So yeah. Chanju semjo rimboche maje panam cheju che chewa nyamba me kone gondo pewa sho tongni tawa rimboche maje panam cheju che chewa nyamba me ba ya kone gondo pewa sho rimni tawa rimboche maje panam cheju che chewa nyamba me kone gondo pewa ra sho kare ra be ko be chingam de pendan de wa male cho chere se wa tenzin ja zo ye shabe se de ba do tenju ro che. So then this the long life prayer, the verse for Kyabsha Lama Subrahmachari, because it's already say reincarnations already exist, yeah, already born. So either you can recite the sub-return prayer all the time, or you can also recite the long life prayer. So I sometimes recite this. Tuzu chanje jango jawe de jinjo bebe gozo dobo je chosong kowe leme tudu dazo doje gondo shab de sho. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Raphael, for the translation.
Thank you very much for the translator. Thank you. Yeah, not easy for the translator. And thank you very much. And I'm amazed how you do. Yeah, so really, really amazing. Thank you. Okay.
Oui, oui. Tu vois, Justine, même qu'elle est la traduction, n'a pas tout compris.
Oh yeah, the same. Thank you. Good night. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.
Excuse. Je peux le recharger.
Merci.
Merci.
Okay, take care. Safe drive, everybody.
Yes, you too.
Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Oui, mais lui,
Tu es là demain? Non, regarde-le. Tu es là demain. Ouais, mais sur la chaise. Et toi?
Ah, mais oui, j'ai bien entendu.
J'adore.
Non, c'est normal. Ah oui, quand on fait
Oui, j'écoute. Ouais, il y a juste le début, j'ai oublié de mettre le.
Est-ce que je peux un café, Jean-Paul?
Oui, vite fait alors, s'il te plaît. Tu sais allumer ou tu veux que je t'allume? C'est bon. Ouais, ça se
À demain. À demain. Ciao, ciao.
Ça nettoie, ouais, exactement. On dit ça comme ça.
Je t'ai remis le livre aussi.
Oui, merci. Ouais, j'ai vu. Petit enfant avant qui a fait tous les bonbons, tous les chocolats.
J'ai amené des biscuits, moi j'ai ouvert, j'ai amené de la boîte. Il y a un gâte. C'est des biscuits vaudois. Oh, il y a un gâte. Il y a ça. Les vaudois, c'est quoi des gâtes qui sont restés. J'ai mis ouvert, mais je sais pas, ouais,
C'est un peu pas présent.
Comme j'ai déjà récraqué au niveau du timing. Tu vois bien?
Ça va, ça va. Ouais, ouais. Ouais. Je suis allé un peu avant pour donner un petit peu.
C'est génial,